بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، وبه نستعين. الحمد لله وحده، والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده. سعادة المدير العام المكلف لاتحاد وكالات أنباء دول منظمة التعاون الإسلامي الأستاذ محمد بن عبدربه اليامي. سعادة الرئيس التنفيذية لوكالة رابتلي إنارة توكوتو سونوفا. سعادة مستشارة مجموعة الرؤية الاستراتيجية روسيا العالم الإسلامي أنا بليكوفا. أصحاب السعادة ممثلي وكالات أنباء الأعضاء. أصحاب السعادة والمعالي ممثلي منظمة التعاون الإسلامي وأجهزتها المنتمية والمتخصصة والمتفرعة. السيدات والسادة الإعلاميين، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. يطيب لنا في اتحاد وكالات أنباء دول منظمة التعاون الإسلامي يونا أن نرحب بكم في مستهل ورشة عمل تطبيق مبادئ التحقق من المحتوى الإعلامي في التغطية الإخبارية، والتي تعقد بالتعاون مع وكالة رابتلي، الوكالة الدولية الرائدة في مجال الفيديوهات والاستقصاء الصحفي. ونستهل هذه الورشة بكلمة يلقيها سعادة المدير العام المكلف لاتحاد وكالات أنباء دول منظمة التعاون الإسلامي الأستاذ محمد بن عبدربه اليامي.
الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين محمد عليه وعلى آله وصحبه أفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم. وبعد. سعادة الرئيس التنفيذية لوكالة رابتلي دينارا توكتوسونوفا. سعادة مستشار مجموعة الرؤية الاستراتيجية روسيا العالم الإسلامي أنا بليكوفا. أصحاب السعادة ممثلي وكالات الأعضاء السيدات والسادة الإعلاميين، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. يسرني أن أرحب بكم في مستهل هذه الورشة التي تأتي في إطار البرامج التدريبية التي يقدمها الاتحاد من مصلحة الإعلاميين في دول منظمة التعاون الإسلامي، وذلك بالتعاون والتنسيق مع المؤسسات الإعلامية الدولية المهمة. أخواني وأخواتي، لا يخفى عليكم أن تزييف المحتوى الإعلامي يعد من أخطر الظواهر التي تهدد ثقة الجمهور في الإعلام بشقيه التقليدي والشديد، لا سيما في ظل الانتشار الكبير لوسائل التواصل الاجتماعي، واعتمد الكثيرين حول العالم على هذه الوسائل وتطبيقاتها للوصول إلى الأخبار والتحقق منها. وما زاد من حجم التحدي أمام الصحفيين التطور المتسارع في تقنيات تزييف المحتوى والتضليل الإعلامي، إذ تشير الدراسات إلى أن الأخبار الزائفة تحولت إلى صناعة قائمة بذاتها يستقطب فيها كتاب ومحررون لإنشاء قصص إخبارية مزيفة طلبا للإثارة والمشاهدات والزيارات. من هنا تبرز أهمية التحقق من المحتوى الإعلامي والوقوف على مصداقيته وخلفياته والتعرف على مهارات والتطبيقات اللازمة في هذا الجانب لنحافظ على مصداقيتنا أمام الجمهور ونتجنب الوقوع في فقد المحتوى المزيف. واسمحوا لي في هذا المقام أن أتقدم جزيل الشكر وخالص الامتنان لوكالة رابتلي على تعاونها المثمر مع الاتحاد وحرصها على مشاركة خبراتها الكبيرة في مجال الفيديوهات والاستقصاء الصحفي مع الإعلاميين في الدول الإسلامية. أتمنى لكم ورشة عمل مفيدة ونافعة، والله الموفق والهادي إلى سواء السبيل.
شكرا لسعادة الأستاذ محمد اليامي على هذه الكلمة الموجزة، والتي تطرق فيها إلى خطورة تزييف المحتوى على مصداقية المؤسسات الإعلامية والتي تطرق فيها على مصداقية المؤسسات الإعلامية التقليدية كانت أو حديثة، وضرورة تأهيل الإعلاميين لمواجهة هذا التزييف وتحصين الجمهور ضد الشائعات والأخبار المغلوطة. Kindly, we would like to announce that there are live interpreters from Arabic and English to French. Please look on the screen. There are a button of interpreters, so you can press and you can choose the language that you need to hear the workshop about. ننتقل الآن إلى المستشارة في مجموعة الرؤية الاستراتيجية روسيا والعالم الإسلامي آنا بلكوفا، فلتتفضل مشكورة.
شكرا كثيرا، واسمحوا لي أولا أن أرحب بكم سعادة الأستاذ محمد اليامي وسعادة أستاذ يونا. بصراحة هذا بصراحة نجاح كبير للعمل يونا، وأنا أرحب سعادة المدير العام لوكالة أنباء رابتلي دينارة تختصون. أرحب وبصراحة أتمنى لكم نجاح، بأن هذه ورشة ليست ورشة العمل فقط، ولكن ورشة التعاون والصداقة. وأنا أرحب بكم من مصر، وأحب أن نقول بأن يونا كاتحاد وكالات للدول منظمة التعاون الإسلامي تؤيد كل مبادرات للتعاون. ومثلا في شهر يونيو 11 يونيو كان عندنا هنا في القاهرة المنتدى روسي مصري للإعلام، ويونا كانت تشارك في هذا المنتدى، كما كانت تشارك قبل ذلك في فعاليات كثيرة. وضمن هذه الفعاليات منتدى للتعاون روسيا والعالم الإسلامي في مجال الإعلام في شهر ديسمبر 2022. وبصراحة جمعت يونا المجموعة الكبيرة من الإدارة وكالات أنباء من دول إسلامية في موسكو في شهر ديسمبر. وطبعا جودة الحرارة كانت مش مرتفعة ولكن متنزلة شوية، ولكن جودة الحرارة وجودة اللطف والتعامل بيننا كان بصراحة مرتفعة، ونحن استمتعنا كثيرا من الحوارات المفيدة جدا، وكذلك من النتائج التعاون المستقبل الذي نحن كنا نخطط ضمن لقاءات في هذا المنتدى. كما كانت يونا كذلك المشارك المهم جدا والضيف الشرف عندنا في منتدى إعلامي في مدينة قزان ضمن فعاليات القمة روسيا وعالم الإسلامي. هذه القمة أو حاليا انتقلت هذه القمة من اسم قمة إلى اسم منتدى، وهذا المنتدى حاليا روسيا والعالم الإسلامي أكبر منتديات في روسيا للتعاون مع الدول الخارجية. ويونا كانت من أول منظمات العالمية التي شاركت في فعاليات هذا المنتدى، وكما نظمت بصراحة مع وكالة أنباء ميديا، وكالة أنباء محلية في جمهورية تتارستان الروسية. نظمت كذلك دورة للتعاون وكالات والمنظمات ميديا من روسيا ودول الإسلامية. وأنا كذلك أريد أن أقول بأن قامت هناك توقيع للاتفاقيتين بين رابتلي وبين تطميدي ويونا. وأنا اسمحوا لي أن أقول بأننا كمجموعة استراتيجية روسيا والعالم الإسلامي كنا كذلك نشارك في هذه الفعاليات مع يونا، وكنا نتعامل كثيرا في هذا المجال. وفي المستقبل نحن نتمنى أن نستمر تعاوننا. وكذلك أنا أحب أن أرحب بكم من اسم القناة تي التي أنا موجود حاليا في يعني في المكتب لرئيس القناة، وهم يتمنوا لنا كذلك النجاح في عملنا. وأنا أتمنى بأن هذه اللقاءات وهذه ورشات ستكون على المستوى الدوري في المستقبل وبشكل دوري. وشكرا كثيرا لكل جهودكم، وإن شاء الله سنتعامل في المستقبل كثيرا وبنجاح وتوفيق، ومجموعة رؤى استراتيجية ستؤيدكم في المستقبل في كل مبادرات، لأنكم ناجحين في كل مبادرات أنتم بديتم في الماضي وإن شاء الله ستستمر في المستقبل.
شكرا جزيلا للأستاذة آنا بليكوفا على كلمتها وما تضمنته من تأكيد على أهمية التعاون بين وسائل الإعلام في دول منظمة التعاون الإسلامي وروسيا لمعالجتها القضايا المشتركة. ننتقل الآن إلى كلمة رابتلي تلقيها سعادة الرئيسة التنفيذية للوكالة الأستاذة دينارا توكتو سونوفا، فلتتفضل مشكورة.
Hello, dear friends and dear colleagues, and I'm very, very happy to have this workshop today, and it's a great honor for us. And thank you very much for the Acting Director General of Yuna, Mohammed bin Abdrabah al-Yami. And thank you very much, the Yuna Director of External Relations and Strategic Development, Yunus Inayat, for inviting us and for devoting your time to plan it and to make it. And for this last months, you really became like a family to us. Thank you, Anna Belikova, for making it all happen as well. And we really hope to get to know the members of Yuna better and to really enlarge our family. And let me say a few words about what Raptli is. Raptli is a video news agency. We are a part of RT media family, RT, Russia, اليوم. And this year we are 10 years old. And for all these years, we have been doing a video feed every day, a video feed of about 40 till 60 videos per day, as well as about 8 live streams per day from different parts of the world, and specifically trying to give breaking news and different stories that the mainstream Western agencies overlook. And our headquarters is in Berlin, and we have presence in many different parts of the world. Yes, so we have this video feed from Europe, from Russia, from CIS countries, as well as Middle East and North Africa. So, of course, as a part of RT family, in some parts of the world, we've been attacked for many years. And we, from the very beginning, we needed to be very, very precise, very, very accurate in the information that we deliver. We cannot make any mistakes. We should be very, very accurate. Each media should be, but we didn't have any chance for any mistake. So from the very beginning, we started developing different tools that helped us better to verify footage that comes to us. Because sometimes, of course, our own video journalists bring us footage. Sometimes this is something we get from social media, you just see, and we need to verify it. Sometimes it's just breaking news, and there are people on the spot who do this video, and we need to verify it very fast and very, very accurate. So we've been doing it for many years, combining different programs. Some of them are open source, some of them are our programs that we are developing, and so we are very proud that for a few years already we have a specific verification unit inside our agency that takes care of it. And we are very happy that for the last 5-6 years, we didn't have any mistakes about verification of the footage. And this is something that we can bring to our clients and be very much feel safe about that. We are always happy to share our tools and our skills about verification with our dear friends, with our dear clients, with fellow agencies. So this is the reason why we want to share something today, and we really hope that it will also become useful and helpful for you, and that you will be able to use it as your own tools. So once again, thank you very much, dear Yuna, for giving us this opportunity. And now I want to welcome the head of Rابتلي newsroom, as well as the head of Rابtlي verification unit, Marie Sakellariou, and she will go on from this point.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Dinara. Thank you, everyone. So let me just share my screen and share the presentation with you.
Mary, if you allow me to introduce you, to give a small bio about you. Thank you for دينارة، وخالص الشكر والتقدير لسعادة الأستاذة دينارة. وأسمحوا لي أن ننتقل الآن إلى العرض الرئيسي للورشة العمل عن مبادئ التحقق الإعلامي في التغطية الإخبارية، والتي تقدم رئيسة وحدة التحقق في وكالة رابتلي الأستاذة ماري ساكلاريو. الأستاذة ماري ساكلاريو تلقت تعليمها العالي في فرنسا، وهي تحمل شهادة الماجستير في الصحافة من المدرسة العليا للصحافة بباريس، مع خبرتها التي تمتد 15 عاما في مجال صحافة الوسائط المتعددة، شملت التنقل في عدة مناصب التحريرية في كبرى الشبكات الإذاعية والتلفزيونية في أوروبا. تجيد الأستاذة ماريا 5 لغات، بما في ذلك الإنجليزية والفرنسية والألمانية والأسبانية. واليوم نرحب بها معنا في هذه الورشة للاستفادة من خبراتها الكبيرة في مجال التحقق من المحتوى الإعلامي، فلتتفضل مشكورة.
Okay, so now you should start to see my screen. Can someone please confirm that it is sharing and that you have everything? Okay. So as Dinara said, I'm just going to speak a bit about the verification unit. We are a team of people who are dedicated to make sure that every package that we put out on the website is not only accurate in terms of news, but also accurate in terms of rights and in terms of facts. So that means looking behind the scenes on the work that was done prior to publish, and also making sure that a video is exclusive when it is said that it is exclusive. And we have also the mission to offer a transparent insight on the verification procedures that we apply to each sensitive content. I will now show you a little bit of an introduction video we'll just introduce a little bit to you.
Verification is our push for accuracy. To continue to provide trusted, verified news content to our clients and their audiences around the globe. Fact-checking and validation is at our core. We filter inaccurate online information and get the facts right. Trust is not deserved. trust is earned.
Yeah, so here is for the little introduction of our unit. So what are the common challenges that we are facing today as journalists, but also as an audience? The first thing is old or inaccurate content that is circulating around and news on social networks. So this is what we call most commonly fake news. Fake news are not necessarily maliciously fake. They are most of the time just old footage shared as something new. And this is our job, of course, to make sure that everything that we get from social media or that we get from our own stringers is properly fact-checked. And the second thing, as I said, and this is only and mostly relevant for newsrooms and for people who distribute footage, is to be able to make sure that the rights that we are using the video with are accurate, and that a video is either full or exclusive or non-exclusive, and make sure that all the content and rights are authentic. For example, when it comes to social media, this picture here that you see was shared by a very well-known actor, Leonardo DiCaprio. It was shared in 2019. This is a picture of supposedly the Amazon fires. He was shared to his millions of followers during the emergency in Porto Velho in Brazil. And if you look a little bit into it, it just turns out that this picture was actually taken in 2015. So it was a wildfire, it was in Brazil, but the date was just wrong. So this is the kind of things, when I say non-malicious fake news, is that the news is happening. I do not think that the actor himself wanted to share something inaccurate, but it just ends up being inaccurate because it was from the wrong dates. So the foundations of what we do at the verification unit, the question is, how do you know that? So do not take anything for granted and any information for granted. We apply a formula to answer this question before publishing all the content and distributing it to our clients. So our workflow is based on what we call the verification fundamentals. So first is the source. Who is the source of the footage? The date, when was the footage taken, and the location, where was the video recorded. So 3 principles: look before you leap. Look before you leap means take an actual good look at the footage you receive. Sometimes just by a little bit of looking, you will see inaccuracies and possible issues in the footage. Read before you write. So that means making sure you research because your footage might say something, the reports might say something. You need to make sure that both match. So that's not only using other media, and the media, when you are an international news agency, we need to rely on local media a lot, and media in the original language when you are not from the country. And then based on these things, we build an investigation with the material that our producers send. This prevents, as I said, the publishing of inaccurate content, which could harm the reputation of a news channel or our reputation. If we have, sometimes to issue corrections, we'd rather make the work before publishing. And this prevents publishing content that's pertaining primarily to other media and or with the wrong license, and expose our clients to further legal issues. So what do we do? There are 2 parts of what we do. There's the validation and there is the verification. These are a little bit different. Validation is something we do for footage that we receive from our global network of stringers, our freelancers. So what does that mean? That means professional cameramen, people that we have sent there, and with whom we have most of the time some kind of professional relationship. Verifying, on the other hand, is from social media, everything that we will get and buy from social media. So user-generated content, UGC. And that's obviously because these are not professionals, and because we do not know them, they will require an extra layer of checking. So the validation first, we will get into it a little bit, and I will present the tools that we are using. So first of all, we ask our stringers to get selfies from the scene. I will get into more details a bit later, but so that means that people take pictures of themselves from the scene that they are currently filming, so we can match both. Then our stringers are sending us geolocation coordinates of the place they are at. Ideally, they are in places where the internet is good enough so they can send us a live pin, but that doesn't always happen. So we have different tools that help us locate the footage. If we are on the scene of a breaking news, we request extra mobile phone footage from the scene. First of all, that helps us make sure that the person is there, someone who is able to send us extra footage on the spot on any of the messaging apps. There is a very good chance that they are there. And also, just because it's breaking news, this kind of extra footage just helps us be faster and put out images before the others, right? And then we keep a direct line of contact and of communication with the person on the ground. What it means is that throughout the coverage, we will ask questions, we will determine angles, we will, continue to have this line of communication to get most of our information from someone on the ground, information that we will then be able to match and research against the reports that are online. I will show you now a video that was taken in Palestine, and it shows a little bit of the process. So yeah, basically here you can see most of our process when it comes to validating footage from one of our stringers. So what happens once we have received the footage, we have received the selfie, we have received the material, what do we do? So first of all, we are going to check if there are duplicates of this video. If this video is really an original and an exclusive footage that is for us and filmed exclusively for us. How do we do that? We have two tools that will help us. I think some of you already have the first one in your computers because you were asked to download it before the workshop. So that's Invid and Revi. Both of them are Google Chrome extensions. They are absolutely available to download for anyone. And so you can very easily start your own verification process just by downloading them. The second one is Revi, and this is basically a reverse image search engine. So the fake news debunker by Invid, and we verify. So Invid provides various tools to help verify the content. One of the ones that we use the most is the keyframe tool. It helps us scan the internet for archive material. And what it does basically is once you give it your link, it will fragment the video and it will break it down shot by shot with the keyframes that you will then be able to research. So once it gives you all the keyframes, what you do is you go to Revi. Revi is reverse image search. It exists also with other names. So we use the two in combination to one another and not alone. So Revi is a tool that lets you search multiple search engines using images instead of keywords. So that means that it's very useful because it doesn't look only for one search engine. So it's not only Google, it's Google and Yandex and the other ones. So yeah, you put the keyframes there that Invid has generated, and then you will just check. So what happens is those two tools are not always conclusive. Why? Because sometimes the shots that are duplicated in the video are not the ones that are the main shots. They're not the ones that are thumbnails. So sometimes it's not always accurate. It doesn't mean when you don't find a duplicate in Invid that you are done. But sometimes it can help you locate footage from the same area to be able to look for possible duplicates. Sometimes you will see something that is not exactly the same image, but something similar. So that means maybe a journalist that was next to your journalist. And sometimes you can make your research a bit more accurate this way. One of the main tools, as simple as it sounds, is the keyword social media search. This is what will eventually, after your Invid search, will get you the most result. So we search with a few combinations of keywords, preferably, and not only preferably, actually, we should do it in the original language, and that can show whether footage has already been published on social media. You have on the right side of your screen a few combinations for example. The plus there that is in between the words is not used actually. It's just to show as an example of combination, but the plus is not used. We usually think city, event, a name, something that will be easy to research. So this is the first part of the Learn Yourself now. It's going to be your turn. You have been provided with a link, a YouTube link, prior to the workshop. I invite you to open it and look at the footage. It's a video that shows aftermath at a hospital after an attack on a Ugandan school that left 40 people dead. Using the tools that I just mentioned, I would like you to tell me if there are duplicates to this video. And yeah, again, what keywords would you use on your social media search? I think name, location, event. I will give you a few minutes and then we will discuss the findings.
Mary, sorry to interrupt you. I just would like to announce there are live translation. So anyone can choose the language that need from the button, which is on the right, on top of the screen, more. الإخوة السادة والسيدات والسادة الإعلاميين، اسمحوا لنا التنويه بأن هناك ترجمة حية ومباشرة. الرجاء الضغط على المزيد في أعلى الشاشة واختيار اللغة العربية والإنجليزية والفرنسية. شكرا لكم.
I will give you 2, 3, or 4 2-3 more minutes, and then we will move on. I see some people are asking for where the tool is. I believe there was an email before the workshop that was asking to download the InVid extension. I suggest that the people who do not have the InVid, actually, it's really not a problem in this particular case. Please just try the keyword search. Just try to look on social media or on search engines with a few combinations of keywords and see if you can find the same footage online. Also, if anyone finds anything, please send it in the Q&A chat. I will be very happy to have a little bit of feedback and see if you have found anything. I'm going to be moving on, if that's okay for everyone. So in this case, yes, we do have some duplicates. So spoiler alert, there were some duplicates, but InVid, as I said, is not always conclusive. And in this case, it wasn't. Why? As I said a little bit before, the shots that were duplicated, because sometimes people grab footage from other media and then insert it into other footage that might or might not be exclusive. So those particular shots are not necessarily the main shots or the ones that make it to thumbnails on the internet in general, and therefore they might not be a conclusive search on InVid. So that's the case here. But as I said, we never stop at only an InVid search, and we very much focus on social media search and keyword search. In this case, as you can see, the search was quite quick and quite easy, as we searched just the name of the school, and it was in Google, as you can see, and we can just, click on videos and then check the videos that are coming out. And in this case, there's UBC Television Uganda that has this video, 37 students killed in a militant attack on a school in Kasese, Western Uganda. And the shot that you see on the right just happens to be the one that we have on our video. So here on the left, you see our video. On the right, you see the UBC video. There were at least 2 shots that were duplicated here. So what happens is that's a breach of trust. Why? Because the story was sold as exclusive. It's one thing if a stringer says from the get-go, I am planning to sell this footage to other media. In this case, we buy non-exclusive and duplicates are not an issue. But here it was sold as exclusive, and therefore the story is killed because this is a breach of trust. So let's go to selfies now. In order to confirm the source, our stringers, as I said, send us selfies, and selfies need to match the background of the video. Here you have a selfie that was received from protests in Sudan. That was in November 2022. If you take a close look at the selfie here, would you see anything? Well, in this case, actually, no. In this case, everything is fine. If you see on the top picture, on the top middle left, there is a building that we can very much see on the bottom, on the top right of the selfie. So here, the selfie is matched, and we do consider this as a proof that our freelancer was on the spot. But sometimes it's not that easy. And sometimes selfies as well can be faked. Here in this picture, I would love to ask you if you see something wrong, but I will tell you there is something wrong. Well, obviously the face has been blurred by us for privacy reasons, but I will ask you just for 1 minute to look at this selfie and look at the edges on this selfie. And if you look at it a bit closely, you will see that the blurring here is weird. It just doesn't make sense. You have some very sharp edge with some blurring on the side. The ear doesn't match the blurring that is on the background. And on the neck as well, you have like some weird little thingy on the, that basically shows us, or at least we get suspicious and we might think that this selfie has been photoshopped. When we do have this suspicion, what do? We have another tool here, and this tool is called photo forensics. Unexpected blurring, so maybe a sign of Photoshop, and open source tools like photo forensics can be used to make sure whether it is Photoshopped or not. So what does it do? Basically, it will show the white noise on a picture. The white noise will only appear if a photo was Photoshopped. Basically, if something was pasted on another picture. Which you can clearly see on the left one. On the left picture, if you see on the bottom, you see all the white noise all around the head and the body of the cameraman. If you see on the second one, you still see the white noise on the third one as well. So all of, yes, it does look fake, the selfie, exactly. It is. So the three first ones, which are the ones he had sent us, are all fake. They are all pasted. The right one, on the other hand, this is just for comparison. The right one is an original selfie. As you can see on the bottom, you can see nothing. There is no sharp edges, no white noise. So it's an original one. So you can make the difference very easily between the one that is true and original, like on the right, and one that is fake and pasted and photoshopped, like on the left. Other red flags to look for when you are verifying footage. The first ones might be signs that the content come from multiple sources. So aspect ratio changes and noticeable shifts in quality. These might mean that there are different cameras, or more likely, that some of the footage was just grabbed from somewhere else. If you download something from the internet, if you screen grab it from another channel, you will lose noticeably quality of the footage. And therefore, if you mix it with your own footage that just comes out of your camera, it will be noticeable. And we will see it, basically. So, and other things, the weather forecast. Obviously, if you have a massive protest being filmed in December, and the forecast says it's snowing, and you have footage that comes with a bright sky and people in t-shirts, there's a problem. The time of the day, same thing. You film a protest at 10 a.m. in the morning. If it comes and it has night footage, there's probably a problem. And the architecture. Architecture is more of an experience thing. It be also an areas of expertise, right? Everyone has a different area of expertise and things they know better. I don't know, to take a very obvious example, from Paris. If I receive one of those pension reform protests that have happened in the past month from Paris, and I see footage from Berlin, where I live, I will know this is not the right city. And the more we are receiving footage from the main cities and capitals of the world, the more we know their architecture, and the more we are able to spot these possible problems. So these last three might be a sign that the video is either at the wrong location, as I said, or old as well. Now let's touch upon metadata. Metadata could be very much the topic of a whole workshop on its own. So I will be very basic. The metadata is like the very detailed ID of any given footage that you will receive. It can be reviewed when your producer, when your freelancer stringer sends you unedited raw footage. So what happens is, like, for some reason, sometimes the selfie doesn't match, we are having a hard time, or we are seeing a red flag and we're like, I'm not sure. We will ask the stringer to send us three clips unedited are enough to make a metadata map of the footage. The metadata will give us every possible information there is to know on the footage that is sent to us. This is quite an amazing tool. It just takes a little bit to understand and to decipher, but it will give you even the location and the type of camera and the time of the day it was taken, etc., etc. The photo that you see here, the screenshot that we have taken, is just the basic things that we will look for. So the file names here, you can see that the file names are consistent. So that will mean that they are taken from one same camera. And we will have also the create date. This is the date it was filmed, and the modify date, the date it was modified, as it says. So that will just give us, okay, this footage was all the files that have been sent to me have all been filmed on this day, which is the day I assigned them. So that's a good news. And then we move on to geolocation. Geolocation is also one of the main parts of our reports when we do verification. So as I said, we receive ideally live locations from our stringers to prove that they were on the spot. So obviously, this is not always possible because we do receive footage either from war zones or disaster scenes or any other given reason why the internet might not be great at the very place our stringers are filming. But if the location is not live, it is still possible to record a pin and to send it afterwards. So we will always, no matter what, check the location of some footage. We will also check the location of our footage against reports to ensure the accuracy. Other reports will also give us pictures of the location, and we will see if we can match our footage. And then we will use a variety of open source mapping tools and other satellite methods to geolocate footage. To name a few, we have Google Maps, we have Google Earth, we have, yes, other satellite tools that will just help us when sometimes it's not so easy or so the location is not so obvious. So what do we look at? The things that we're looking for buildings, of course, or road signs, unique topography like mountains, bodies of water, or even sometimes trees, the languages and accents that are used in the footage to see if we can match to a certain particular area, and basically any key location, any landmark that might help us in media caption or in our footage to locate what we have. So here, for example, an example of a footage that we had from the aftermath of the recent earthquake that happened in Turkey and Syria. This footage in particular was from Latakia. The footage shows an 8-story building that collapsed in Latakia after the earthquake. On the bottom, you will see our footage, and on the top, you have the pin that was sent by our stringer. So basically, as you see, it's not that easy. Here we had to use topography to be able to match the footage. And here you can see that we could match those 3 buildings here to the footage that we had. This is how we knew that the location was correct. And then the last part, the date verification. So in addition to InVid and Revi, we will use, again, social media, and we will use a local news report, and with an emphasis on local, to check the accuracy of the date and of the contents. So this is fact-checking, this is cross-referencing. We cross-reference our images with what our stringer is saying, with what is on social media and other people on the ground are saying, and also other mainstream or local media. And all those reports together allow us to check for further consistencies or inconsistencies. And checking social media is done by us manually, using keywords in the local language, English, and any other that might be relevant to the region. And yeah, this is a man-made search. Unfortunately, at this point, there are no tools that allow to do this for us. There's one open source tool that's called Who Posted What that might be helpful in some cases. But at this point, nothing that is really efficient to do instead of a human being actually researching. So here are the reports. We make sure there are secondary reports to the footage that we have received. So here it was footage of the fire at the Iskenderun port, also after the earthquake. So in this case, it was quite an easy search because it was everywhere. But as you see, we will just have different types of media and make sure that everyone is saying the same and that the stringers and the people that we have on the ground are saying the same thing. Second part of the little game for you. So Learn Yourself Part 2. You have those two links. The footage here is showing residents in Beirut attacking banks, demanding money from their savings account. I would like you to try to geolocate the footage. So you have on the left the link to the footage itself. On the right, you have a Google Maps link that was provided by our stringer. And I will give you again 5 minutes to try to locate it. Please, if you find something, write it on the Q&A chat. So here you have the good YouTube link. I was told that the footage was not necessarily working for everyone. I hope that now it's working. So I give you 3 more minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to answer a couple of questions that I see. So is it possible to overlook the selfie image or the location if there's a danger to the reporter? So that has happened. The selfies that you see today, for example, are selfies that were that we have consent to share. Okay, so we do ask for consent. And in any case, the reports that we are doing are internal. We do not share footage or I mean, not footage, but selfies with anyone else than the VU, specifically for this reason. So everything that is on our website and that has been showcased to show the work of the VU unit has been done with consent. If there is really no way to have a selfie for any given reason, we do have other ways to check for the content and check for the source. As I said, we have a team that is specifically trained to look at metadata, and so can very much see what the footage and where the footage was from. It's not ideal though, so it is a very rare occurrence that we will allow a verification without, say, a selfie. Yes, nice. So I have someone who found the location. Amazing. So for the person in Cameroon, someone said that there were people being killed and brutalized, and video was circulating and asking how we could make sure they were true. I will talk about the UGC verification in a bit, and I will give you some tools. So I have another question here that says that we are seeing methods of verification that establish coherence between different elements to make sure of the accuracy of the facts. What do we do when verification is not that easy, and how to limit verification? So what we decide to do at Rappley is to not do partial verification, mostly when it's a sensitive area or sensitive content, again, like a war zone or conflict area. Even if sometimes verification demands more time, we will go through verification, no matter what, when the content is sensitive. Now, yes, there are places where we do trust our stringers very much because we have been working with them for years. And for example, for a soft story or something that is less sensitive, we will go over verification a bit quicker. But when it's sensitive content, we decide, at least at Rappley, to never go through partial verification, ever. Okay, let's go to the findings now. Here we go. So actually, in this case, the footage and the location was it was easy in a way to find. So on the right side, you have our footage. So there is the name of a bank, which we can research directly. And actually the pin that was given by our stringer takes us directly to that bank. And fortunately, in this case, it doesn't always happen, but in this case, Google had pictures of the outside of that bank. So we can match it pretty easily. In this case, it takes only a few minutes. Of course, when we are in the middle of nowhere, it might be a bit trickier. So let's get into verification now. So we are done with validation. So I just, as a recap, validation is when it comes from a professional that you are used to working with. Verification is a bit different, as I said. It's when it applies when you are getting footage either for people that are completely new to your team or from social media. So the first thing is the same. we are checking for existing duplicates through reverse search and using keywords. In this case, we are also not only checking for duplicates, because obviously duplicates will exist when it comes to social media videos in the way that duplicates are reshares. But if, for example, we think that some UGC is original and we see that it was shared prior to the people that to the person we have contacted, obviously there's a problem. The second is we analyze the digital footprint of the uploader. So before even we establish the contact with that person, we will check that person. We will see if we have any way to geolocate that person. We will check their profiles, if they are around, what kind of videos they're posting, and if they tend to repost and not post themselves, if they tend to film or again share footage from other people. All of this will give us information. And then if all of the above is okay, we will establish a direct contact with this person. In this case, for example, this was footage from Afghanistan, and basically we will, this is what I call digital footprint. For example, he is locating his footage. He's also, using the hashtag Kabul, Afghanistan. So all of this is telling us that he's consistent. Also, this person happened to be a journalist. So it helped us make sure that what he was posting was accurate. And then the location. So the location is on the same principle. We spoke to the source and the live location. We got a video from the Al Udeid airport in Qatar. But the video was from the Kabul airport during the Taliban takeover, right? And we got the video once the person was evacuated. So what it did help us confirm the story that he was evacuated there, because there were sources and there were reports of the evacuation to Qatar. And then also we were able to match the footage with other footage of the Kabul airport and see the tower there that was matched. Then the direct contact when it comes to UGC is extremely important, because you can ask questions, you can ask details of the story, and those details you can then also verify. We called also the stringer, in this case, the uploader, to match the voice that we could hear on the video. This is also something that you can use. If you have someone speaking on the radios and commenting, you can then call them and see if the voice matches. I will again show you the whole process of verification of this video with a little edit that we did on our own. So now UGC metadata. So when it comes to validation, we see that we do not always use metadata. We use metadata when we have suspicions. On UGC, on the other hand, we will automatically and always ask for the metadata. This footage here was from police attacking a peaceful demonstration in Bordeaux, in France. most recent phones, and this was not the case before, so at least this is easier now, metadata is provided by the phone very easily. Most of them with one slide, you slide up and you have at least the date of when the footage was filmed. You have the device, and the device is very important because if it was modified or sent via WhatsApp, for example, iPhones will show it. And sometimes you can also have the location there. So all of the most important information will be given in just one swipe. We ask the uploader, the provider, to give us a screenshot of that metadata, and therefore we are safe. So metadata, when it comes to UGC, is absolutely necessary. Yeah. So what are other red flags to look for when we are speaking about UGC? So impossible to establish the source identity. So people who are not allowing you to know their names, for example, or to research them because they have like some avatar and they're not willing to be known. This is a red flag because we do eventually, if you are paying someone to, buy their videos, you will need their identity. Someone who doesn't want to give theirs might be an issue. The source does not cooperate with the verification process. So that's exactly what I was saying. Someone who's like, oh, no, you just take the video. I'm not giving you the metadata or whatever. Most of the people that are original uploader don't see an issue with giving you the material that you need. Sorry, everyone. Duplicates of the scenes are found online. So as I said when a little bit earlier, the issue is not to find duplicates. The issue is to find earlier duplicates. So again, if you find during your search anything that was posted with the same video prior to the person you're contacting, it's very, very likely that they are not the original uploader. No corroborating news reports. This is a red flag, and sometimes it's not, because when it comes to actual news and breaking news and something like that, you will have news reports, at least in the local language, so you will be able to match it. If you're not, then there might be a problem. On the other hand, sometimes a very soft story, a cute dog or whatever will not be on reports. And in this case, it also depends on your news judgment and see what kind of news you are dealing with, if it is news or if it's just a soft story that you think will appeal to the clients that you have. If we are talking about news, we need news reports. If we are talking about soft stories, we will try to find more maybe social media accounts of somewhere on social media that we can corroborate the news. And the last one is, of course, impossible to match the location. In most cases, if the location is unmatchable, might mean that it's the wrong location. So how we are now facing the future, we are arriving at the end of this wonderful workshop. So what do we do at Raptli to face the future? I saw actually the question a bit earlier. So yes, we have, as you see, and since you are participating today, we have started a program of verification literacy for all our staff. So even the people who are not verifying footage on a daily basis do know the basics of verification and are able to look at footage and spot a possible issue. So what it means is that there's just not one set of eyes on some video, that there's several. So the person who receives the video, the person who checks the content and the angle, and the person that scripts the video, all of these people will have an eye and will be able to spot possible problems. The second thing is regular workshop that we do in all our departments. And we have also extended the Raptli VU team to be able to validate content 24/7. So breaking news on nighttime are not an issue. And as you can see today, our first workshop for our clients and other people interested are successfully conducted. As we said in the beginning, we are very much trying to expand the knowledge on verification to make sure that the media can use the same tools as we do. And inside Raptly specifically, Dinara kind of said that a little bit in the beginning. We are developing our own tools. So now we are mostly using open source tools. We are now developing our own. And yes, we are looking at how AI might be helpful to verify footage. I do believe that very soon it will be very useful. It will be, for example, when I said a bit earlier that keyword search can only be done manually, maybe AI at some point will be able to do that for us and to speed up the process. So that's it for me, at least for the workshop itself. I will start relaying and answering questions. Very happy to have given you this workshop, and you have on this QR code that you see here, you have all my contacts, you have the QR code, but you have also all the details. Please feel free to send me any other questions or any other concerns that you might have. Me or my team will be happy to answer you.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you for this workshop. نشكر الأستاذة مريم على هذا العرض المميز الذي تضمن تعريفا شاملا بمبادئ التحقق من المحتوى الإعلامي في التغطية الإخبارية والمهارات والتطبيقات الضرورية في عمليات التحقق وكيفية إدماجها في العمل اليومي في مؤسساتنا الصحفية أو حتى في حياتنا اليومية كمتلقين عاديين للأخبار. ننتقل الآن إلى المداخلات ونفتح المجال الآن للمداخلات والاستفسارات. عاملين من الزملاء والزميلات المشاركين الاختصار قدر الإمكان في مداخلتهم لإتاحة أكبر قدر ممكن من المداخلات في الوقت المتبقي لنا من أعمال هذه الورشة. ونأخذ مداخلة الأستاذ الفاضل المشارك معنا في هذه الدورة، الأستاذ محمد ليمين مصطفى، فليتفضل مشكورا. الأستاذ محمد. الأستاذ محمد، يبدو أن الأستاذ محمد لم يعد موجودا. نأخذ مداخلة الأستاذة مريم محمد جامع إبراهيم، فلتتفضل مشكورة.
I'm not sure. Shall I start answering some questions?
Yes, you can start answering. We are asking the people who's raised the hands, and we are giving them the opportunity to speak. We have a questions here is coming from أحلام بن ربيعان. كان الأخت أحلام فلتتفضل مشكورة.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
أخت أحلام الصوت غير واضح. And you can go to the
جميعا. أنا
أخت أحلام، الصوت على فكرة غير واضح، فندخل ناخذ مداخلة الأستاذ صلاح الدين محمد.
على
الأستاذ صلاح الدين، تفضل.
وعليكم.
وعليكم السلام.
Je m'appelle Salahaddin Mohamed, je suis du Tchad. D'abord, je remercie Marie pour sa brillante intervention. Je dirais même magistrale. En fait, nous avons beaucoup appris et aujourd'hui, c'est ça le défi de l'heure pour les journalistes que nous sommes. Vérifier l'information et de manière très rapide. Vraiment, j'ai beaucoup appris. Maintenant, ma question, est-ce qu'il existe encore, en plus de ce qu'elle nous a expliqué, des applications dédiées aux recherches de vérification de l'information en temps réel? Je vous remercie.
Merci beaucoup. Est-ce que c'est OK si je réponds en français?
Oui.
Oui?
Je préfère.
Alors, à l'heure actuelle, il n'existe pas d'application qui fasse toute la procédure de vérification à elle seule. Ça n'existe pas. C'est pour ça que nous avons pour l'instant des outils open source qui sont les uns derrière les autres et que nous utilisons les uns derrière les autres. Évidemment, en tant qu'agence de presse, on comprend très bien le souci d'efficacité et le souci de rapidité. Encore une fois, c'est un positionnement qu'on décide d'avoir parfois les vidéos un peu plus tard, mais on aura les vidéos dont on est sûr. En tout cas, voilà, c'est notre positionnement. Et en ce qui concerne les outils et un outil qui permettrait de faire tout en même temps, ou du moins sur la même plateforme, c'est ce que nous sommes en train de développer chez Rابتلي. Donc, nous sommes en train de le faire, donc ça existera bientôt.
Merci.
ننتقل الآن إلى السؤال الثاني للأستاذ ريفا عريفين.
نعم، أشكر أولا على السيدة ماري سكراريو على هذه المادة يعني القيمة تزودنا بالمعلومات التحقق للصور والفيديوهات. سؤالي فقط يعني كيف يتم اشتراك مثلا أنا في وكالة من الأنباء في أندونيسيا نريد يعني مثلا نتعاون مع الاشتراك في هذا البرنامج، كيف يكون عليه؟ هل هناك يعني مثلا دورة هكذا تكثيفية لنعلم هذه كيفية، علما بأننا يعني الوكالة أنباء إلكتروني يعني في أندونيسيا المواقع التواصل والوكالات الأنباء الإلكترونية يعني ماذا شائعة وكثيرة حاليا، فالتحقق هذا يعني من المهم جدا. هذا أول. والثاني هو سؤالي ما يتعلق ب هل نحن الصحفيين الأندونيسيين أحيانا ليس عندهم وقت للتحقق يعني كثيرا، يعني هذا يأخذ وقت كثير يعني أظن في معارف يعني من هذه الورشة ومن ما شرحها. هل 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 تنصحين أن تكون هناك لجنة خاصة مثلا في المكتب يعني بالعمل على هذا التحقق يعني في كل الصور والفيديوهات التي ممكن نأتيها من الإنترنت هكذا؟ نعم، هذا سؤالي. شكرا.
On this one, I'm going to ask in translation, if that's okay.
I think if you go and to the button, so you can hear the translation. الأخوة المترجمين، هل يمكن ترجمة السؤال للأستاذة ماري؟
I'm not saying anything, everyone.
الإخوة المترجمين، هل ممكن كتابة السؤال أو إعادة السؤال باللغة الإنجليزية أو الفرنسية؟ Okay. You can repeat your question in English or in French.
My questions in English?
English and French would be perfect. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem. I think that's the interpreter should translate my question, but okay. So my question is the first is how about how to make or to join to use your your application to make sure that every single image or video that we can show that this original, not copy. Is there any like short course for me or for my agency in Indonesia to learn about this a lot, because this very urgent, I think.
Yes.
Yes. This is the first question. The second is do you think that we in news agency, do you think that we should to put like the department, like the people who are specialists to make sure that every single image or video coming from internet that we should to make sure that everything is okay, not copy? Do you think that all this job is it's like belong to journalists?
Yes, I very much do. I mean, we do teach in journalism schools that you should verify your informations, no matter what kind of journalism you do. So I believe that in the area of social media, verifying your information means verifying your footage. So this is just new ways that we are challenged in our ways to make sure the information is accurate. But making sure the information is accurate is at the very core of our journalism job. So it is a journalist's job to verify the footage. Now, yes, we have a dedicated department that just does that. They do only that. And I believe that this requires, yes, journalists and people with journalism skills, because there is still some research on facts, but that also takes a very particular kind of people with the technical skills to do that. I don't know, as a funny example, two of the people on my team happen to have played with the same video, sort of like in computer game when they were young, which was actually a game that was geolocating buildings. So that's actually they were doing that for fun when they were young, and now they're really good at doing that. So it takes training, it takes a certain mindset, and it takes a very big drive for accuracy. And it was the question before. Yes, of course, this has to be part of a news agency setup. Why? Because news agencies, more than anyone else, are the people who will distribute footage beyond their walls. You are distributing to several broadcasters, to several websites. And so if you distribute something inaccurate, you distribute it everywhere. You are responsible for the footage that you are distributing, which is why I believe that accuracy is more important than speed in these times. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you very much, Mary. Can you just change your channel to be in English or in French so you can understand or you can hear the interpreter when they translate to English, from Arabic to English or Arabic to French? So if you can change your channel from main audio to Arabic, to English or French, as you like.
I'm trying to do that. Sorry, everyone.
It's you can go to the more
interpretation. I have it.
Yes,
English.
then you can change to English. Yeah.
I can hear you.
Right now, let's
Sorry
take the
for
next
the little blip before.
No, it's okay. Right now we have a couple of questions. We have right now طارق الشيخ تفضل.
Thanks. This is Tariq Al-Sheikh from Saudi Press Agency. Thanks for the excellent workshop. You have covered the dealing with freelancers very, very great. Yet I'm asking now the news agency or news outlet, even small news outlet, they now allow more regular audience to participate and send photography or sometime, as eyewitness. What are the most important challenges that you expect?
So what we expect, the most challenges that we expect with UGC is to be able to actually spot the original uploader. So the person who has filmed the footage, the person who actually owns the right to the footage. So this is the biggest challenge that we face. Yes, because things are reposted very quickly. Also, it depends on the country and the area you are working with. In some places, things are very much shared on WhatsApp, for example, or Telegram, and therefore it's impossible to go to the original. This is the challenge. Now, what we do is, first of all, we will never put out some UGC that is verified, even if it's amazing, even if it sounds, like all the clients will take it. But what we do is once we have found an original uploader, someone who's filming regularly and are just part of the civilian population, let's say, and are not journalists, is like we will ask them to remain in our contacts. So we have our contacts for stringers and we have our contacts for UGC providers. So these people, for example, can also expand our reach in more, rural areas, for example, places that are difficult to access for our stringers that they can live very far away. And we basically keep contact with the people that we find. So we are able to maintain a relationship, get more and more videos. And even though they are not professionals, they will learn with us how to film and how we want them to film. We are very lucky in a way that nowadays we live in a world where the phones make very great quality videos. So we can very much teach what we want to the people from the population and keep that relationship going to get more content. So that's what we do. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mary. Let's take next one. مرزوق. الأخت فاطمة مرزوق تفضل. الأخت فاطمة تسمعينا؟
I can hear you, yes.
الصوت واضح عندكم؟
واضح، تفضلي. الأستاذة فاطمة المرزوق من وكالة الأنباء البحرينية، تفضلي.
السلام عليكم، الصوت واضح عندكم؟
واضح الصوت، تفضلي.
السلام عليكم، معكم فاطمة المرزوق من وكالة أنباء البحرينية، واللي حابة أقول لكم يعطيكم العافية على الورشة القيمة. السؤال يقول: كيف يمكن التحقق من الأخبار الزائفة في ظل انتشار أدوات الذكاء الاصطناعي اللي من الممكن أنها تكتب الأخبار في الوقت الحالي والمقالات في ثواني ومن غير أي مجهود؟ فكيف نقدر اليوم نحقق هذا الشيء ويكون عندنا التحقق التام من صحة الصور والمحتوى اللي نبثها؟ ويعطيكم ألف عافية.
So to be fair, as a news agency, and at least so far, we have very, very little, we have never encountered someone who is sending us or trying to sell us a deep fake. That has just not happened. But it's actually pretty easy. As I said, for when it comes to UGC or social media video, we use automatically for every video, we use metadata as a way to verify it. Metadata cannot, it's very hard to fake. I mean, unless someone has specifically targeted your media, trying to send you the wrong video, with having falsificated as well the metadata of that video, the chances that you don't spot with the metadata that it is a deepfake are none. So as long as you have the metadata, you are able to see if it's a fake video, if it has been edited in any way. I hope that answers the question. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. And we will take the next one. السيد لهبيب مختار سالم، فليتفضل مشكورا. هلو السيد لهبيب. طيب نأخذ مداخلة من الأستاذ زيد، فليتفضل مشكورا.
السلام عليكم، أتمنى أن الصوت واضح.
تفضل أستاذ زيد.
شكرا لكم. في البداية الشكر للجميع. Thank you Marie for all the information. أنا سؤالي صراحة كان من شقين. السؤال الأول كان عن الذكاء الاصطناعي وكيف يمكن التحقق في ظل التكنولوجيا الحديثة، ولكن يعني كان في إجابة قبل قليل وشكرا على هذه الإجابة. الشق الثاني صراحة وهو أعتقد التحدي الموجود عند أغلب الصحفيين وأغلب الوكالات، وهو التوازن أو كيف ممكن نوازن بين السرعة وهي عامل مهم للوكالات، لأنه بالنهاية هي مكان منافسة، سرعة نشر الخبر والتحقق من الخبر. يعني اليوم إحنا بنحكي بكل التولز والإجراءات اللي حكينا عنها اليوم، هي ستأخذ وقت، يعني راح تأخذ وقت. فكيف اليوم ممكن نوازن بين السرعة في نشر الأخبار وأيضاً التحقق من المعلومات؟ And thank you very much, Maria, one more time.
Thank you. I understand. We have lived in a world in the past, I guess, 30 years that has very much emphasized news on speed. It has become faster and faster and faster until social media made it almost uncontrollably fast to the point of an inaccuracy. And in my opinion, it's time to slow down. So it doesn't mean slowing down and making ourselves be the last ones to have some news. We are still very much and very often the first ones to publish something. But I do believe we need to take the time to verify. It comes from our credibility from news agencies, news companies, broadcasters. Journalism in general is so challenged right now out there by the audience, by the general public. We need to gain some trust again. And the only way to gain some trust again is to show that we have a process, that we have a way, that we are making sure, and not just say, oh, but I'm a journalist, I'm ethical, of course I'm verifying. No, we show we have a process. Yes, it takes me, I don't know, half an hour more to have my footage on the website, but my footage is 100% sure. So I very much believe that the balance, it's not really about balance, it's about a choice. Does that answer your question? I hope so. Thank you.
الآن thank you very much Mary. الآن ننتقل لسؤال واستفسار السيد فرانسوا ماري، فليتفضل مشكورا. فرانسوا, are you with us?
Oui, allô, oui, vous m'entendez? Bonjour.
Monsieur.
Here you go.
Allô?
Yes, François, we can hear you.
OK. Alors, moi, je suis M. François Marat, directeur général de l'agence guinéenne de presse en Guinée. Alors, ma question est la suivante. Aujourd'hui, au moment où les masses médias, c'est-à-dire les réseaux sociaux foisonnent dans le monde, où l'information va vite, qu'est-ce qu'il faut, par exemple, quelle est la méthode qu'il faut utiliser pour contrecarrer vite ces fake news qui peuvent aller vite sur les réseaux sociaux? Merci.
Alors, si ça ne vous dérange pas, je vais répondre en français.
Allô?
No, actually, I'm going to do this in English. Otherwise, I have the interpreter speaking over me, and it's not working fine. Okay. So as we said, I don't think as news entities, we can ourselves control social media news. That's not going to happen. I'm going to be very pessimistic on this. This is not our job to control the pace of social media. This is the job of the social media companies. That what we need to do is, and what we're trying to do is, one, differentiate ourselves and make sure that we are, yes, different from the social media. We are not social media. We are not trying to be the first one to share. We are trying to be the first one to share accurate news. That's one thing. Yeah, and actually mainly this is how you control. Second of all is, the second part is, like, as I said right before, is build back credibility for the main media companies, for general media companies. Build back credibility, and this little by little, if we verify all our news, the discourse that tends to say that journalism cannot be trusted anymore will stop. That's what I believe in. Thank you. If you allow me, I see a couple of written questions about the fact that this requires more training. Yes, it does. And I would be very happy for you to either write us an email and we can direct you to our specified departments to provide more in-depth workshops to actually teach you step by step how to go about this. Obviously, this is a presentation. We do workshops that actually teach you to do this. So if you're ever interested.
Thank you very much, Mary. We will
Merci de
take
nous
right
envoyer
now
votre email.
Najajin. I hope you'll pronounce her name very right. Najaji.
Alors, ma question c'est, vous m'entendez?
Oui, oui.
Alors,
ma
question c'est, je vous remercie d'abord pour l'organisation de cet important atelier qui va certainement faire beaucoup de conséquences dans l'appréciation désormais
Alors, excusez-moi, parce que là, pour le coup, on ne vous entend pas. Monsieur Diouf, excusez-moi, mais là,
alors, je continue, vous m'entendez?
Ah, là, c'est mieux. Ouais, là, c'est mieux.
Je continue?
Allez-y, allez-y, allez-y.
Alors, c'est vrai qu'avec l'avènement des réseaux, il y a maintenant beaucoup de gens qui s'identifient à des journalistes simplement par le fait qu'ils publient sur leur page Facebook, Twitter ou autres des informations à la seconde couchée. Et en fin de compte, il y a beaucoup de gens du public qui se réfèrent à ces informations pour dire que les journalistes ont dit, les journalistes ont affirmé, la presse a affirmé, alors que pour ne pas faire carrément le distinguo entre les vrais disons, un blogueur ou quelqu'un d'autre qui affiche sur sa page Facebook de manière générale. Alors, puisque l'information est destinée, il y a d'abord, à mon avis, lieu de... C'est ça ma question justement. Est-ce qu'il n'y a pas lieu de mettre en place des mécanismes d'éducation sociale de sorte que, de manière générale, les gens comprennent que l'information crédible, il faut la chercher au niveau, auprès de la presse, auprès des journalistes pour qu'enfin y croire. Sinon, ça peut ressembler à un méli-mélo qui va, bien sûr, confondre certaines autres personnes qui vont croire que c'est la presse qui a dit, c'est la presse qui a dit, alors que c'est des gens, des particuliers qui ont leur page Facebook. J'ai entendu, bien sûr, ce renforcement de crédibilité dont vous avez parlé tout à l'heure. Au même moment, je me dis que est-ce qu'il ne faudrait pas que les journalistes dans chaque pays, si possible, organisent, comme j'ai dit tout à l'heure, des séminaires ou des ateliers où il faudra vraiment sensibiliser le public dans chaque pays pour qu'il puisse faire la distinction entre la presse et ces activistes-là. Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur Diouf. Alors oui, je suis parfaitement d'accord avec vous. Alors la première partie, je pense qu'il faut faire attention à ne pas non plus taper sur les gens qui filment en postant sur les réseaux sociaux quand ils sont à une manifestation ou quelque chose comme ça. Ils nous sont très utiles, hein, ces gens-là. Donc ces nouveaux journalistes, ces journalistes au téléphone portable sont aussi très utiles aux journalistes, on va dire, comme nous, classiques, qui allons ensuite utiliser leurs vidéos pour faire nos reportages. Ce sont des gens qui sont... Parce que ces gens-là sont au cœur de l'action. Par exemple, quand on parle... J'ai parlé de la France un peu plus tôt, pendant les manifestations contre la réforme des retraites, il y a eu beaucoup de preuves, par exemple, de violences policières qui ont pu être données grâce aux vidéos du public. Si, par exemple, on sait que le jeune Naël, qui a 17 ans, là, est mort récemment, voilà, de manière de fait de violences policières, pas forcément, comment dire, injustifiées, on le sait parce qu'il y avait quelqu'un en train de filmer le moment où il a été tué. Donc, je ne pense pas qu'il faut éradiquer la prise de position et la prise de vidéo du public général, parce que je pense que ça nous aide à faire notre métier, au contraire. Maintenant, nous, en fait, notre rôle, en dehors, c'est pas pas interdire, mais d'éradiquer ces vidéos, c'est de filtrer ces vidéos. Et c'est là que la vérification a tout son sens. C'est à nous de filtrer le vrai du faux, c'est à nous de savoir quelles vidéos on va utiliser et quelles vidéos ne sont pas utilisables. Et oui, et là, c'est là où je vous rejoins à 100%. Je pense qu'effectivement, on a en tant que journaliste un devoir d'étendre les valeurs de la vérification au plus de journalistes possible, au plus de médias possible, et que ensuite ces procédures doivent être communiquées au public pour montrer que justement les journalistes font le travail. Merci.
Thank you, Mary. الآن نأخذ مداخلة الأستاذة سارة صالح، عفوا صالح الحواسوي، فليتفضل مشكورا. نأخذ مداخلة الأستاذة ابتسام العتيبي.
السلام عليكم.
تفضلي.
شكرا لكم على هذه الورشة. أنا سؤالي في معظم الفيديوهات التي تنتشر بين التويتر والتيك توك أو سواء السوشيال ميديا في مثل العنف أو مثل الحرب، هذه مثل الفيديوهات تسبب شحنة وبغضاء بين البلدان. فهل يمكن من الحد فيها وتقتصر على بعض البلدان، بحيث انه الشعوب الاخرى ما تحمل انه مثل مقطع الفيديو اللي انتشر الان، اللي هو الطفل اللي 17 سنة توفى. كثير زعلوا عليه، كثير سببت شحنة من بين الدول وبين الاشخاص، في عدوانية في الموضوع. في حد من هذه الفيديوهات. شكرا لكم.
Thank you for your question. I mean, this is part of a very much larger debate in this case. My honest answer is no, a journalist cannot limit the diffusion of those videos. This is not our job. I wish it was the job of the moderators and the social media companies to not spread those videos when they don't know that they're true. Unfortunately, they're not doing that job. And again, our job is then to filter. Our job is to gain trust. So the people, when they see those kind of videos, they're like, okay, but what is the media saying about this? I need to have proper information. And the more we go out there verifying our footage, the more we don't take the social media videos directly saying, oh, this is happening, and then we share fake news. The more we do the process of verification, the more there will be this intuitive way for the public to go and say, okay, I saw this thing, this is spreading hatred, oh, I hate those people, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. Oh, but I'm going to look for what the media is saying in this case. But if the question is, as journalists, can we control social media? No, I don't think so, or at least not at this point. Thank you.
الآن thank you. الآن نأخذ مداخلة مريهاب مريهاب. يبدو أنها غير موجودة. ممكن نأخذ مداخلة الأستاذ صالح. تفضل أستاذ صالح. ممكن ننتقل الآن إلى الشات إذا كانت هناك أي استفسارات من الشات. يبدو أننا انتهينا من جميع المداخلات والاستفسارات. نجدد شكرنا للأستاذة ماري على تقديمها المميز وردها الواضح على جميع هذه الاستفسارات. كما نشكر الزملاء والزميلات الإعلاميين على مداخلتهم. وأسمحوا لنا فقط بالنسبة للزملاء من خارج الوكالات الأعضاء أن نشير إلى أن اتحاد وكالات أنباء دول منظمة التعاون الإسلامي هو جهاز دولي متخصص تابع لأجهزة منظمة التعاون الإسلامي، ويتكون من أعضاء هم الوكالات الأنباء الوطنية الرسمية في الدول الأعضاء بمنظمة التعاون الإسلامي، علما بأن عدد هذه الدول هو 57 دولة موزعة على 4 قارات. كما وتتمحور رؤية الاتحاد في أن يكون المنصة الرسمية الأولى للأخبار الدولية وحلقة الوصل لتبادل الأخبار والخبرات وتقديم الاستشارات للدول الأعضاء وعلى مستوى العالم من أجل النهوض بصناعة الإعلام وتعزيز الاتصال والتواصل بين الدول الأعضاء وعلى مستوى العالم. كما يوفر الاتحاد منصة رقمية للتبادل الأخباري بأكثر من 18 لغة عالمية وإقليمية، ويقيم بانتظام عدد من البرامج مثل برامج الوفود الإعلامية للدول الأعضاء والمنتديات الحوارية وورش العمل والتغطيات الصحفية المكثفة للمؤتمرات والأحداث البارزة التي تعقد في الدول الأعضاء. ويضم الاتحاد معهد تدريب متخصص في المجال الإعلامي ومزود بأحدث التجهيزات لتأهيل الإعلاميين في الدول الأعضاء. وقد أبرم الاتحاد عدد من مذكرات التعاون مع مؤسسات إعلامية ومنظمات دولية للتعاون في تنفيذ الأنشطة المشتركة، بما في ذلك التحالف الإسلامي الدولي لمكافحة الإرهاب ومنظمة العالم الإسلامي للتربية والعلوم والثقافة الأيسيسكو، والمركز الإسلامي لتنمية التجارة، ومنظمة تنمية المرأة، ووكالة سبوتنيك ورابتلي ومجمع الفقه الإسلامي الدولي وغيرها. ونرحب بالتعاون المشترك مع جميع الوكالات والمؤسسات والهيئات الإعلامية لتنفيذ البرامج المشتركة التي من شأنها النهوض بصناعة الإعلام في الدول الإسلامية. وفي الختام نشكر ممثلي وكالات الأنباء الأعضاء والسيدات والسادة، ممثلي وسائل الإعلام، ممثلي المنظمات والهيئات الإعلامية ومنظمة التعاون الإسلامي وأجهزتها المتخصصة والفرعية والمتفرعة على المشاركة بفعالية في أعمال هذه الورشة. والشكر موصول لوكالة رابتلي على جهودها في إقامة هذه الورشة ومشاركة خبراتها الكبيرة في مجال الصحافة، صحافة الفيديو والاستقصاء مع الصحفيين في الدول الأعضاء بمنظمة التعاون الإسلامي. ولا شك أن الإقبال الكبير الذي شهدته هذه الورشة يشجعنا على عقد المزيد من هذه الورش والبرامج التدريبية في مختلف مجالات الإعلام. ونفيدكم بأنه سيتم في القريب العاجل إرسال شهادات بالحضور والمشاركة لجميع المشاركين في أعمال هذه الورشة، كما سيتم أيضا إرسال نسخة من المادة التدريبية والروابط التي تم عرضها على الشات التي خلال هذه الورشة. دمتم في رعاية الله وإلى لقاء قريب إن شاء الله، وشكرا لكم مجددا على الحضور. Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone. Goodbye.